Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities and Miniatures, and we are back with more of the Deus Vult models from Fireforge games. And I had a lot of fun with the Almodovares models that they did recently that we put on the channel. And I noticed right after that that they had this Armies of Islam. So we've got Berber Infantry, and these guys are going to make some great antagonists to fight against those Spaniards, Catalans, or wherever they're from. I don't remember off the top of my head. But right off the bat, these heads, and the bodies for that matter, I think are going to be really great for a lot of uses. And I got to give Fireforge credit for really making sure it looks like we got a lot of options. So let's take a look. Okay. Digging through the box. We got bases. Again, all the sprues are the same. Let's grab one. All right, so here is the basic Berber Infantry sprue. So you can see here, lots of layers. So instantly, I mean, let's be honest, I'm thinking Frostgrave bodies, not too heavy of armor, but the quilted look I think would look really good on the Frostgrave stuff, besides as a Berber army as well. Similar dress, but not exactly. I guess they are similar. I don't know what I'm talking about. Nice round shields. And again, you've got a lot of fully enclosed and a couple of bearded, non-covered faces. But yeah, most of them are covered. Heavy quilted armor. I guess it's only on a couple of the sword arms. You've got regular cloth arms. I'm thinking this is going to be great Frostgrave fodder. Seriously. Yeah, you only get 24 to a box, but also notice there is no puddle base included. So I think we're kind of moving away from that, and I really like the ornamentation on their blades. You've got daggers for everybody on the sprue, pouches for everybody on the sprue, swords for everybody on the sprue. We do have the teardrop-shaped shields as well. We've got enough bows for all 6 members, and quivers. There are enough quivers for every single member of this set. I'm going to say warband, but yeah. Same thing. I guess the only thing really lacking out of the box is any sort of command unit. Maybe that's like a resin add-on or something. But again, for somebody like me who's looking for just kind of a foil to whatever is the group that we're playing with currently, if I'm going to use this for something historical, for example, I just want to have a set of models that, they're going to look good. I don't need specific standards. And one of the things that I'm always irritated about with like standards and command options is, yeah, you'll need them, but you only really need one per box, really, right? So I don't know. Maybe they'll have those separately, and I just haven't looked into it. I'm not going to worry about it too much because I wouldn't really have much use for those anyways. I tend not to build standards command options. I do like to have the heroes, but I like the grunts. Usually I'm not a fan of grunt stuff, but when it comes to miniatures, I do enjoy them. So I am going to get to work on these guys, and we'll see how they turn out. We'll grab some of their Fireforge and other historical kits, and maybe if I can find where I put all my Frostgrave stuff, we can try kit bashing, but I don't know where it is. So don't hold your breath on that, but we'll definitely see how they turn out. So sit tight. Alright, we started putting together some of our Berber Infantry. I gotta say, I like them. I like this guy especially. I'm gonna call this my champion warrior dude. He doesn't have his face covered as much as the rest of them. He's got his sword out there in like post-swiping, slicing mode. I also gave him one of the larger shields. But, these guys are going to be great. You can use them for all sorts of stuff. I mean, my first thought was, unfortunately, with their faces covered up, I think they make some great bandit types. Hopefully you'll do a better job of gluing yours than mine. Look at that mess. That's okay. It'll paint up nicely. You can fit them on 20 millimeters, so if you wanted to, rank and file them all, totally doable. Now, you don't have to necessarily put them with the sword and shield. There was the ranged option as well. Got another one over here. Firing his bow. And I mean, honestly, with a box of these, you got yourself a nice little warband. Sure, you don't have anything in the way of spears or pikes or anything like that, but, you know, traditionally these guys would have fought with swords and shields as it is, but it would be kind of fun to have nonetheless. One thing I did notice was the arms matching up the sleeves. As I try to clean this mess up here. I want to say that there actually weren't enough of the quilted arms for the bows. I feel like there was enough with the bow, but then the firing hand or the offhand didn't have enough. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. And I couldn't leave well enough alone. I had to start goofing around with one. I don't know what's happening here. The weapons are Zinchi, and I figure this is like a... I know it's supposed to be like a Tsangor axe or something, but it made like a cool magician's staff. And the hands actually fit pretty well. The head comes from one of the various drones from Conquest, and I stuck some Roman feathers on top of him. I don't know. We'll turn him into a mage or something. I'm like, when in doubt, go Zinch. You can always have some kind of weird Zinchian conversion. But, you know, that's the other kind of nice thing about these bodies, is I think they're really effective. You can really get a lot out of them. Obviously, if you've got access to lots of bits and parts from other kits, you are definitely going to be able to make some interesting and unique figures. With the layers of the clothes, with the, you know, neck scarf, the chainmail layer, the pants underneath, you know, the various pouches and scabbards and daggers that the set came with, I think you've got the makings of a great Frostgrave warband. Or if you wanted to do like Sandtomb, I know that was one we tried playing around with, was playing Frostgrave style games, except all with like, you know, desert themed, Arabic styled models, which was kind of fun actually. Other than me getting a Twilight Knight wasted like on the first turn. They were too tall. Got sniped by an archer, but anyway, that's a whole different story. Honestly, it's a cool little kit. If you want something different, if you want, especially those heads and the clothes, I think it's going to be a really solid choice. My next thought is, how well can I kit bash them with the Afghans from War Games Atlantic? I don't think very well. The proportions on Fireforge's stuff tends to be a little bit more thick. Obviously, these are very different timelines, eras that these guys are participating in battles in. The style of clothing is different. But that was my other thought. At least for the heads. I love the heads. I love the fact I can't pick it up. We've got all those kind of disguised faces where you can't really see them. I love the look. I think it's really cool for these kinds of figures. So, at the very least, get a cool set of heads with some really solid bodies and some pretty good choices. Not as exciting to me as the Almogavares from War Games, or not War Games, Fireforge games. I think they're still going to be my favorite of the recent releases that they've done for historicals. But I think if you want something different, and you want an enemy for those Almogavares to fight with, this is going to be a great kit. So do take a look. We'll have a link down below if you want to take a look for yourself at what Fireforge has been up to. And with that said, then, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and see you back here soon. Bye-bye.